Hey, it's Shaggy, back with another deep diving exploration of America's love of dumb. Today, we go completely under the waters of America's social media culture and beneath the FOMA-covered surface into the path of creatures that love to overshare. Nautical-themed intros are hard, but lessons in when to talk, where to talk, and especially what limits you place on how much you reveal seem to be damn near impossible for today's batch of criminals. Brief explanation here, just in case you missed my snazzy use of one of Webster's dictionary newest words. This is what FOMA means. F-O-M-O. It's an acronym for fear of missing out. And it's that feeling you get when you post something online that's clever and hit refresh till your fingers bleed, look at me blood, or someone comments or likes your post. This obsession leads certain individuals to post more and more revealing things, hoping out there, somewhere on the internet, someone loves them like their parents should have. Thus, you could say that FOMA is actually a disease, an obsessive-compulsive type disorder, in fact, with oversharing being one of the biggest symptoms. Let's see, though, if you can spot this particular brand of dumb in the following example. First, put yourself in this kid's shoes, and let's see if you can spot where he went wrong. His name is Jacob Cox Brown, an 18-year-old from Astoria, Oregon. And one night he went out partying it up with his friends. You know what happens when that goes on, right? Well, on his way home after plowing into two cars while driving intoxicated, he managed to make it all the way home without any of those pesky police officers trying to keep the streets safe from drunk drivers and whatnot. Whatever. Because this bitchin' young man decided that getting away scot-free was for wussies and took to the internets for some much-needed bragging. His post read, and I quote here, "Drunk driving, classic, but to whoever's vehicle I hit, I am sorry, tongue out emoticon." All right, first off, some kids, right? Drunk driving isn't classic. A cheeseburger with lettuce, tomato, onion, and some mayo, that's a classic. Neglecting the fact that the judicial system in the United States prefers to throw minorities into prisons in higher ratios to whites, well, that's also classic. But saying drunk driving is classic is like saying you missed the bubonic plague, as both led to tons of death and are both the results of bad choices of what to do on city streets. Anyways, it didn't take cops long to track down the mysterious car that was involved in two separate hit and runs after two people who saw this post contacted police. How could they? They were on his friends list, man. Well, to make the story even dumber, Jacob was only charged with failing to perform the duties of a driver versus a full-blown drunk driving charge, as cops found him too late to completely verify his online boastings of being drunk. Pretty dumb, right? Well, this next example isn't really a case of a bad crime, but it's definitely a case of bad choices to post online. In October of 2012, a father in Chicago posted this picture of his daughter with the interesting caption, quote, "This is what happens when my baby hits me back." And that's exactly how this genius spelled out that incriminating statement too, making this officially 3 crimes. 1 of aggravated domestic battery, aggravated battery, and, of course, murdering the English language. 2 of those charges carry up to 7 years in prison, by the way. I'll let you guess which ones. It should be noted that Curry had no prior criminal record, and his lawyer later convinced the judge to reconsider the felony conviction, dropping the charges down to a misdemeanor. Curry, meanwhile, did not testify in his own defense, but his lawyer argued successfully that he was just fooling around and the girl was never in danger. But then the judge had this to say, quote, "To use a child as a toy or a prop in an odd attempt at humor is conduct of an insulting or provoking nature." Later, though, that very same judge had a change of opinion and did drop those charges down to the misdemeanor. A very contrite Curry apologized to the court for taping up his daughter, saying, "I would like to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. I'm very sorry for all the pain I put everyone through." And that was supposed to make it better. Now, I know some parents right now are watching this and going, "Good on him." I'd tie my kids up too if they were hitting me to show those little brats who's boss. But ask yourself carefully, would you show it online? I'm guessing if you said no, you're not a part of the trend and thus can walk around the rest of the day content in your knowledge that you're not part of the problem. In fact, just go throw yourself a parade because you are clearly starting to become the minority in today's age of America on social media. Now, what do these two cases show us in hindsight? That no matter how many times you've been told to be careful what you share, America clearly isn't listening. That's why from this day forward, I'm dedicating my social media feeds to each and every bodily function I have at what time of day I have it. Look forward to my burrito week, which is kind of like Shark Week, but more colorful. And join us next time as we brush off the surface dirt and uncover more fossilized remains of our long-standing love of dumb in America.